Good morning, everyone. I'm Debbie Cronister. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here this morning to show you a really fun card. We are going to make this card. One of my customers contacted me. She is trying to make this card, and she said, oh, so it's similar to this card. So Jan, if you're watching, this is for you. So it opens up like this. It's a double fold, Z-fold card, a double Z-fold card is what I would call it. I think that's what it's called. So I made this one with paper pumpkin, and that's what we're going to do this morning. I only have a little bit left of my paper pumpkin kit because I've used the whole thing up already. This is one that they're going to make in my paper pumpkin group. On Friday, I do a class with alternates. And so we have 16 cards this time. And they're all different. Every card is different. So, if you're interested in that, watch for my paper pumpkin post here on Facebook or check it out with Stamp with Deb. And so today I'm going to make this one similar to this one. Not exactly. I'm going to change it, of course. But I'm going to show you how the card works and how it goes together. So let's put that aside. And this is what I am using. So I have a couple of pieces left here of my paper pumpkin, and not much. And I've added a Poppy Parade card base. So my instructions will all be on my blog at stampwithdeb.com. So I have this piece. It's 11 by 4 1/4. And I've scored it at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. So it's going to fold like a Z fold, right? Just like that. Let me grab my bone folder, just put it away. I was trying to clean up everything so I could start packing my paper pumpkin kits. Okay, so let's move this out of the way. We don't need that right now. We're going to start with that. And then I have a piece of basic white that I've cut that is 9 inches by 3 1/2 inches. And I've scored it at 4 1/2 and 2 1/4. So half of that and then half of that. So it again is folded like a Z fold. And I cut this on a trimmer that didn't cut a nice edge there. Okay. All right. So when you put it together, you're going to turn it the opposite way, and you're going to turn it over. Okay, let's do some stamping first, though. I want to stamp something on this end. So this is the small end, what I referred to in my instructions as a small end, and I'm using my Poppy Parade ink, and I'm using the stamp that came from the paper pumpkin. So I'm just going to ink half of this. I just want friend. Just want the word friend. So I'm just going to ink it on that side. I should do it down here because all the ink, have you ever noticed how your stamp pads are darker in certain places? Well, that's because the ink has pooled there. And I'm just going to do this to make sure that it doesn't go over, just in case I got ink where I don't want it. And I think it's okay. I don't think I got any over there. Okay, so there's my friend, and that's what I wanted there. So that is going to go there. Whoops, I have to refold this now. They stamped it on that side. Okay, so now when we put this together, it's going to go together this way. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put adhesive on the front, and I'm going to center this, okay? So I'm going to put some adhesive on my front here, on the back of the front, and I am going to go all the way to this line because I know that I'm going to go all the way to that line when I fold it. So when I fold this over, this fold and this fold are going to come together, and then I know it'll be centered. So let's just put it together, top and bottom. Fold it over, and now it's centered on my paper perfectly, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and attach this part. So I'm turning this over. This is where I stamped friend. Oops. And I am going to put adhesive here. And then I'm just going to close this right down on it. Easiest way. And that way you know your card folds, and it should be straight. As long as everything was cut straight, there's my friend there. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and decorate the front of the card. So I have cut a piece of, remember this was cut at 3.5. So this is 3 3/8. Here's my green glue. I like my green glue best. Right here. So this is 3 3/8, and we're just going to attach it to the front of the card. And this is Poppy Parade, so it matches. And you could cut it so there was a bigger distance between there if you want. If you want that 1/4 of an inch or that 1/8 of an inch. So I have like a 1/16 of an inch difference. It's teeny tiny. And you could cut it bigger than that. Okay, and then I did the same thing here. I really should have cut that bigger. Now that I see it, I think I should have left a little bit more of the white. And then this is cut at 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And we're going to put it on right side up. Just really simple. Okay, now I have this rectangle that I cut using the textured notes dies, and I have this piece of vellum that was left over from my paper pumpkin kit. So because I know I'm going to cover the center of this, I'm just going to go ahead and put some adhesive on there, not worry about it. And you know, with our this adhesive, the Stampin' Seal, it really doesn't show much. Look at that. That really does not show very much at all. Okay, for this, I'm going to stamp the hello. So let's clean this off. And I should have wet my silicone pad here because it's pretty dry. Yeah, let me get something else to clean that. Another one. Here's one. There we go. That one got left open overnight, so it dried out. So I just want to make sure that that's clean, and it is. And so here I'm going to stamp hello. So I just want to ink this half of my stamp now. So I'm just going to ink the hello. Now, if you're not sure about this, you can cover this with masking tape or with the painter's tape. You can buy this at Lowe's or any hardware store. It comes in a multitude of colors. And I know this is frog tape here. And I know there's different intensities, but if you're not sure about it, or if you're stamping using a stamp that you want part of, what I do is just cover it up. And then that way I don't have to worry. Just remember to take it off before you stamp. That's really, really important. So I'm going to ink that a little bit more just to be sure. And I'm just going to put my hello over here because I know that my strawberries are going to cover part of this. So we'll add our hello to there. Let's close. No, we're not done with that. We'll leave that open. My vellum seems to be curling here. I wonder why. Okay, and I'm just going to add some adhesive to the back of this. I probably should have popped this, but I'm going to pop my strawberry, so I'm not going to pop that up. So I'm going to tell you, this is not even. These two are smaller than the area here. But you know what? I'm okay with that. I am not worried about that. I think it's fine. I think it just gives a little bit of a distraction from the printed paper. And so I think that works okay for me. Okay, so I have the strawberry and I have a pink one left. And I don't think the pink strawberry is going to look good on there myself. So I'm going to change the color of my strawberry. And we're going to start with Poppy. We're going to work with the Poppy Parade. And I'm just going to start blending that in. Even just that much makes a difference. But I'm going to do my whole strawberry. I'm not worried about coming up to the branch, the leaves there. And look at that. I made all of my little seeds go away, didn't I? Okay. Now for my seeds, I have this stamp which came from You Are Remarkable, but it would be this here. You could use anything that has like that splatter look. I'm going to put a little bit more up in here. Just so that, okay, now I'm debating, do I want the same color? How's that going to look? It will, it'll be fine. So I'm going to come in and just put my little marks back on my strawberry that I just colored over. Otherwise, my strawberry doesn't look like a strawberry. Now he looks like a strawberry. So just by adding that little bit of color, it makes a difference. I could have done it in black. Guess I could have done it in white too. I do have one strawberry left. Whoops. Guess I need to get back on screen here, huh? And so I'm just going to put those two together on there. This one I'm going to glue on flat. I'm just going to put a little glue on there. Okay, I need to move in because I don't want this to catch when I put it in my envelope. And then this one, I think I will pop up on a dimensional. And it looks like this one is up a little bit, so I'm just going to tuck a dimensional underneath there so that it holds it. It just gives it the support since it's sticking up anyway. And this one is going to go here. I'm going to put this one just like that. And there is my card for today. That's a double Z fold. It's very simple. You have room here and here to write your note, and you'll find all the instructions at stampwithdeb.com. Thank you for joining me today. I'm here every Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. Pacific time. I hope you'll join me again. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.